Hello, my name is Harry Motko, and you're back on our second half. We're talking about what we ought to know about how billboards, outdoor signs are being made, how they're being regulated, who's behind it, what are they trying to do other than the sensationalism that we were exposed to. You have to remember, in that last storm, that very gargantuan storm that came into town, it wasn't only the billboards that they brought down. I mean, we had cars that were flying all over the place. We had rooftops going all over. Ang pinsala po sa property at sa mga tao, mga buhay, ay malala din. But those were one of the issues, and rightfully so, we have to address that issue. So we have with us, we're going to continue talking again about the issue. It's not just the Outdoor Association of Advertising and Billboards, not just the UAAP or the Ad Board, correct? What are the other agencies you're working with to help regulate, to understand, if not control, and police if necessary, di ba, yung mga signs? Paano po yan? How are you doing it? Kayo po, attorney.
No, we're working with Ad Board, of course. Then PANA.
Sino yung lead group? Ad Board?
Ad Board.
Advertising Board of the Philippines.
Advertising
Okay.
Board.
Yes.
Then PANA for ACE, MSAP,
What's MSAP?
Media Supplier Association of the Philippines.
Sa mga suppliers yan.
Yeah,
Okay.
suppliers. Then,
Pag sinabi mo suppliers, ano yun? Bakal? Hindi. Panaflex yan. Yung,
No, the media suppliers.
Media planners.
Independent
Ah,
media.
planners.
ito na yung nag-take over ng agency ngayon.
Agencies, media
For
agencies.
ACE. This is headed by Venus Nabalta.
Alright. So, Venus.
Then we have, of course, the MMDA, our counterpart, ang OAB.
They sit with you na. So,
Yes.
hindi lang kayo lang nagbi-meeting. Everybody concerned,
Kasama na.
dinadamay nyo na.
The whole industry is involved.
So, you're not fighting anymore each other. You're already looking for solutions to the issues that
Yes.
were sensationalized. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, even the cases that we filed, we are now trying to negotiate for amicable settlement. Because we are no longer combatant with each other, but we became partners in corrupting the guidelines and laws regarding billboards in Metro Manila. Eventually, you will probably see one of these days, or probably in 6 months' time,
Yes, sir.
that you will see the whole of it in uniform billboards.
Doon na ba tayo patungo?
Yes.
So, ibig sabihin, one sign,
One side.
Yeah.
one illumination,
One size.
one size
One
for
size,
everything.
one height,
One height.
uniform.
Distance.
Distance,
Uniform distance.
uniform.
Baka naman mukhang communist naman masyado yan. Well, I enjoy Hong Kong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ako, Hong Kong is really the haven of billboards.
Yes.
They're right on top of each other, di ba? Talagang you can't even find the restaurant you're going to.
Yeah.
Kasi wala nang regular sign box. Talagang, pag sinabi mong billboard, gargantua, malalaki. Vegas is the same way,
Yes.
and so is Macau.
Yeah.
And the big cities of lights, di ba? The
Yes.
billboards have a very big part of creating action. And especially in your case, when you animate, gumagalaw, there is movement of these signboards.
Yes.
So, you are now regulating it para at least the people are protected. That's the only...
Public interest.
Public interest.
We're talking about new regulations. What we are talking about existing billboard, that will not be touched. That will be covered by what we call transitory provisions.
All right.
But it will be reduced to the size that will be agreed upon.
What size are you looking at, sir?
Where Frank and I were looking about what we filed in Congress, which is
40,
225 square meters, 40 by 60 feet.
40 by 60.
40 by 60. Malaki na yun, you don't need to be bigger. Pero alam mo, nung EDSA, meron 120 by 80.
Oh, yes.
Eh.
Yeah.
If I'm not, smart. If I'm not mistaken, the smart ads, di ba? Ang taas, ang laki, mas lalo na kay Alvin pa noon eh. When San Antonio ba yun, when you come down Guadalupe, that
Yeah.
Coca-Cola side there, it was 180 feet by 180 feet. You're going to take that out, isang size na lang.
Sun size na.
But the purpose of the size is so that, why? Integrity of the structure?
Integrity of the structures and the problem of polluting the environment because of the
you're-
complaint.
I see.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetics,
And
Aesthetics and...
safety,
safety.
for that matter. I mean, you know,
Then a balance with the government because the government is trying to remove everything. So we have to have a balance.
Why does the government want to remove everything? Kaya ba nila bigyan ng trabaho lahat yan? Parang sinabi natin, wala na OFW! Sige, balikan kayo. Dito kayo magtrabaho. Patay tayong lahat.
yeah.
You'll remember probably in China, before the Olympic, there were about hundreds of thousands of billboards but the government decided to remove because of the Olympic. You have seen nothing is. So it can be done by the government, actually.
But China is dictatorial.
Yes.
Oh, wait. That's right. We are also the same, no? I forgot. But that's another topic. Let's go back there. So we are going to reduce talaga for one side.
yeah.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the popular perception na maging 40 by 60.
Yes.
Acceptable yan sa marami, sa lahat eh.
Actually, there's already IRR with the DPWH has accepted 40 by 60 for new installations. And also, that's the size we have filed in Congress since 7 years ago. And this has passed through our membership's ratification that that's the optimum size, not so big, not so small. And somehow it would rationalize a lot of arguments about size.
I think the viewers have to understand that when they see signboards, billboards, posters, you guys or your industry is the backbone. You are the manufacturer. You build the integrity of the structure. You have the material. You have the technology to make it light, to make it go off, to make the colors more shine, to illuminate, di ba? But when it comes to content, it's not really your responsibility, is it? It goes back to the ad board. For example, tinitira yan ng mga women's rights groups, mga malaswa. Di ba? Yung mga underwear ads, swimwear ads. Alam ko, ang rampant dyan, yung mga bench, di ba? When they sell their underwear. Di ba? Parang gano'n eh. Siyempre, yung mga matatandang
Macho.
babae, ano ba naman yan? Di ba? Pero yung mga bakla, gustong-gusto nila ng mga lalaki. Di ba? Parang gano'n eh.
The volcano.
How do you control that part, sir?
No, we have ethics and regulation.
Ethics is the right word.
Firstly, there are few things that has to pass through screening. One is claims of superiority, that you claim that you're number one. Or
You
you're-
mean you can actually police that?
Yes.
Eh marami dyan. They're the best. They're the freshest.
No,
Kung anong logo-logo linalagay nila dyan, di ba?
No.
The freshest quality. Titignan mo, gawa lang nila yung design, eh, di ba?
No, ad board can regulate that because they can issue CDO, cease and desist order that you will be blocked from all the media. Okay, so claims of superiority, originality, like we are the pioneer, we are the first, we are the original. Okay, and of course sexuality, and which is a big debate because several people has different perspective of how law the
Yes, I agree. May nakita ko niyan sa South Super noon eh. Isang lalaki, nakagano, nakahiga. He was promoting the gay culture, di ba? Not that, hey, I mean, it's a democracy, but siyempre marami na-offend.
Yeah.
Parang ganon. I mean, there were two sides of it. Ako, of course I was offended, but maybe it's not my right to say anything kasi hindi ako gay eh. But if I was gay, may rights din naman sila eh.
Yeah, so
Di ba?
the most debatable
Hindi ako gay.
issue.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, go ahead.
Most of the issues are always towards sexuality.
Yes, I noticed that,
yeah.
sir.
Uh,
But that's what attracts.
yeah,
Sex sells.
That's right.
the underwear industry always argues, how could we sell our product if we cannot show our product? I mean,
Ano sasagot mo doon?
you just show a brief hanging on a hanger.
no.
So there's got to be somebody who's wearing it. You know?
Tama nga naman. Application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Tama nga naman. Ang hirap naman ng trabaho nyo.
so
But it's true. Ang
yeah.
hirap.
So that's the kind of censorship or screening that requires passing through.
How about truth to advertising? Yung mga sinasabi nila. This
Yes.
product will make your hair
Yeah.
black. Pag-apply mo, pula. Blonde. Di ba? Di ba? Maraming ganun eh.
Yeah.
False advertising.
No, Albert police that because you have to substantiate. Okay, if you're saying percent of chemicals like this, and if you're saying pure water, Okay, you have to substitute what's pure water.
Meron na palang gano'n. Paano pumasa si Senator Lacson sa billboard niya? No? Hindi naman tama yun. No? False advertising! Hindi, di ba?
Yeah, that's another.
Or si Senator, si Chisa Escudero is on top of taxis, di ba? And buses, di ba? It falls under you.
That's right.
Yung
Yeah.
ginagawa nyo. Tsaka ngayon, you
bus
can
ads.
line the bus na, miski yung bintana, di ba? Yung actual window portion, you can put the head there.
Wrap.
The wrap.
Yes.
It's very creative, mind you. It looks better than the kalawang that the buses will have. But, yung nga lang, how do you regulate truth to advertising, ethics, di ba? Because, ang hirap, we're predominantly Catholic, and the church is very strong when it comes to advertising, di ba? I'm sure you have problems with them. Hindi nyo sinali sa ad board or sa, sa grupo nyo ang church.
That's in the screening process of MMDA. The church is included.
Kasama na. So may voice din ng
May
church.
voice.
So civil society meron din.
Yes.
So mga women's group gusto magreklamo, take the time out, umupo ka dito. Discuss it. How far are you and when will you be successful based on your measurement of success? Tingin mo matatapos to in 6 months, we will be well on our way? O mahirap-hirap pa?
I think it can be completed within 6 months.
I'd like to go back to content,
Yes, sir.
particularly in billboard. It's 24/7. It's seen by the masses 24 hours, 7 days a week. Notwithstanding, if it has clearance to be placed in the billboard, if there's any complaint about anything, okay, it goes back to the screening, or it goes back to the product advertiser himself.
Correct.
Wh-
The content.
That's the case in the billboard in Guadalupe. Somebody complained, and it not took a day for the advertiser to
Take it
pull
down.
down. Yeah. So that's how sensitive.
So the people really have to participate. Kung may ayaw ka, sabihin nyo.
Precisely,
And
yes.
then ang issue dyan, kalaban mo is the advertiser, hindi
Yes.
yung billboard operator.
No, firstly, I don't think it is or it is farthest from the mind of the advertisers to create a negative impression about the product. So anything that would be a negative impression on them, they will naturally follow. I mean, they're advertising for the benefit of it, not for
Let me ask you a very important question, a sensitive question. We have the elections coming up, and a lot of politicians will need recall, if not information, or at least to introduce themselves. Why aren't we politicians on the billboards? I don't understand this. It's the best way. I find that it's more effective than TV. Ang television na mahal-mahal. Yung isang ad mo na 30 seconds, baka isang buwan in one of the best sites in EDSA or SLEX or NLEX, di ba? Bakit hindi ginagawa? Pinagbawalan ba po yan?
Okay, 3 election period ago, the
Pinagbawalan.
political ad ban law was lifted with another law. And surprisingly, they have specifically mentioned that political ad ban is lifted on radio, TV, and print. Billboard and outdoor was omitted. And we went to COMELEC and says, how about us? Said, no, you're still not allowed.
Why? Hindi kaya mali yun? Because I find most politicians now, mga kandidato na tumatakbo they find the most, tingnan mo kung anong unang binibili nila. Flyers, di ba? Leaflets. Paano mo pakikilala sarili mo? Di ba? Sa leaflets, marami ka kasing kasulatan. Mahaba yan, di naman pwede litrato mo lang. Tapos, streamer. Di ba? Hindi masyado, 2x3. Yung mga ganun ba? Pag wala yan, patay ka. Dapat yung billboard, nagtataka, mas effective nga yan. I mean, ba't ka bibili ng national TV worth 500,000? Di mag-local billboard ka sa lugar mo araw-araw, nakikita ka ng tao. Bakit kayo pinag-initan ng COMELEC? Mukhang di kayo gusto ni Mr. Brillantes, no?
Hindi naman.
Baka may galit sa inyo yung mga commissioner.
Three
Ginawa niyo dun.
3 commissioners before. We have filed already our...
But they didn't take it up.
not yet. We're still filing it again. So it's
That's unfair for candidates. I find that that's ridiculous. Because media, kasama kayo eh.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, look at the ad board. It's electronic, radio, and TV. Ang hindi nyo lang kasama, print. Di ba? And ibang regulatory board yan eh. So dapat yan, hindi dapat kasi it's a very important integral part, especially district and local candidates. Correct me if I'm wrong, di ba?
Yeah.
So pinagbawalan kayo, and it's actually a very stupid limitation.
Si Joe is a lawyer, but there's a jurisprudence by the Supreme Court that outdoor or billboard is part of media industry.
Yes! That's how I say, when you say billboard,
Yeah.
leaflets,
Yeah.
lahat yan media yun eh.
Yes.
Yes.
TV,
Yeah.
radyo, TV,
Yeah.
lahat kami media, lahat tayo media. Ba't kayo biglang iniba pangalan?
I think we should put a test case there. We'll put your billboard there. Then let somebody complain.
Lalagay ko mukha ko nga doon sa
Yun,
Muntinlupa.
oo nga, no?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running for Muntinlupa Congress. It's just my face.
Yun.
Pag inabol ako ng COMELEC, pwede ba kayong mag...
welcome.
You will defend me?
Yeah.
Baka kaysa manalo ko, makulong ako sa Muntinlupa. Ando doon na nga doon, penal colony. Hindi na ako lalayo. Hindi na.
You will be you will be a lot of talk about
But
you.
if you disallow billboards, how come you don't disallow streamers? Leaflet.
No,
It's the same thing, lumalaki ng bill. It's just steady, static, di ba?
That billboard is not actually prohibited. There is only a size, limited size.
2
like
by
the
3,
banners, 2 by 3. It's allowed. But the big ones are not allowed. I don't know for what reasons. I've been lobbying for the last 3 years.
I can't think of any. Can you? I think I find, especially for local candidates, the billboard is more effective than doing, papasok ka sa dyaryo. Magkano full page ad? 300,000. Basta ano kung may color ka. Eh pumunta ka ng billboard ng local district, baka makalusot ka ng 150,
Yeah.
pero 24/7 yan na kayo. May ilaw pa yan, mga 200,000, may ilaw ka na.
Local candidate ka lang.
Local candidate lang. Why do you want national, di ba? Local ka lang eh.
Local eh.
Di na bali mga senador gumastos yan. Ang lakas naman ng mga bonus nila, di ba, Pasko? 2.2 million eh. Kaya nila magbayad niyan. Pero yung mga lokal, wag naman, di ba?
Hindi ko rin maintindihan talaga kung bakit sila.
Gentlemen, we're at the top of the hour and we will have to end the show. But I'd like to give you the opportunity to give a message to our viewers. So maybe we can start with Attorney Joe Valle.
Yes.
Mensahe niyo po.
Thank you very much for inviting us. At least this is a forum where we can convey the message about the billboards industry. Right now, we have negotiation with the industry and the government, MMDA. We're crafting guidelines for billboards in Metro Manila. We and the association recognizes that the government has the right to regulate. And we recognize that. It's part of the government. But at the same time, also, it is the legitimate right for the industry to prosper with the minimum participation of the government. And hopefully within 6 months, there will be a balanced guidelines that will be approved by the whole industry, including the government and the OAP. And this afternoon, we'd like to thank Harry for giving us the opportunity, and I hope this is not the last time that we will
No,
be...
no, no. I'm going to put my face on a billboard. And let's see how that... Frank Abueva, what would be your message to the...
Yes, it's a very opportune time to thank you, Harry.
Salamat po.
Firstly, we'd like to thank for you for and in behalf of our association, the Outdoor Advertising Association, the Philippines, composed of small entrepreneurs that has provided the industry part of media. Now is more and more throughout the world, outdoor has been recognized as an effective medium, okay, particularly for lasting impact on the masses. So we will continue to advocate our cause, particularly towards enacting an organic law about billboards. And everything that we've been doing so far is to work with the government, work with legislation, with the administration and the executive, as well as the industry and the public in general. So again, thank you very much for your wonderful
Maraming
time.
salamat po. I'm glad that at least you're paying attention to something for public interest. Now we have Chris Chu. Chris, remind our... Chua. We have Chris Chu of Animated Science. Alam mo, gusto ko talaga maging basketball player to si Chris. Parati ako nagkakamali. But Chris, your animated signs. Chris, you might want to explain
Yes.
again one more time before as we end your
Yes.
message directly.
Okay.
camera.
Yes, to our GNN viewers, I hope I have, through my presence, I've enlightened you with our, technology and one of the upcoming trends in out-of-home advertising material. So this kind of material now can be applied to many, out-of-home media like billboards, taxi ads, bus ads, indoor posters, you name it, even murals, and even on shirts. If, for example, you're campaigning, then your face can light up on a shirt as well. So there are many applications, and I hope I've enlightened you with it. And I'd like to thank Harry Tambuatco for this opportunity for us to be present in your show.
Maraming salamat, Chris. Yan po, gagamitin ko yan para pag mukha ko nandiyan dyan.
Ayun.
Pag naglalakad ako, 1 minute, puti ang buhok ko. Pag blink ng ilaw, itim ang buhok
Itim
ko.
na.
The young and the old, the young and the old,
Pwede.
the new. Ayan. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. We hope we've not necessarily entertained you because that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to inform you and to generate what we call critical thought because there's only one thing that actually counts. That's nation building. And that means that involves you. Maraming salamat po and thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chris.
You are what you watch.